Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome back friends to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Hope you're doing well. Really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here, of course, where I reflect on what's being said about Chelsea in the headlines, giving you my opinion and, of course, more importantly, asking for yours, dear viewer. Transfers, January, very soon, weeks away. What's it like, 2 or 3 weeks away now? The transfer window opens. Incroyable. Chelsea, largely dysfunctional at the moment, mostly due to absentees. I want to talk about left-backs. Yes, Ben Chilwell is targeting a return next month as well, but the drop-off is clearly horrendous to Marcos Alonso, and there's a couple of good options being circulated around the media that I want to talk about. So settle in and get comfortable, and I would urge you all to drop a like. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes to keep the ting going, and can't speak English. You are welcome to subscribe, newcomers. So let's talk about Ben Chilwell quickly. Of course, Chelsea plays so much better with their first choice left wing back, Ben Chilwell. Not only does he play really well, it opens up the whole left flank, and like I've said recently in previous videos, I do genuinely think it makes Reece James play a little bit better as well, because that option of switching play is truly there. Chelsea are just generally upgraded a lot, and we all know the drop-off to Marcos Alonso, especially recently, is absolutely gargantuan, and defensively we're worse, offensively we're worse, and in control of the ball we're less creative. It's that bad. No disrespect to Marcos Alonso. I think he's been an excellent servant to Chelsea. Really, really good offensively, especially obviously when we won the Premier League. But even at times, under Tuchel, when he started, he was excellent in a few games. He has got it in him, but in terms of what I've been seeing on the pitch of late, it's just not the one. So, Ben Chilwell is coming back, and yes, he should be the first choice left wing back, certainly in terms of what he's produced so far under Thomas Tuchel, masterclass in the Champions League final, scoring loads of goals of late for club and country. That's a sort of non-negotiable. He keeps his first team spot, unless there's an alternative that really does push him. And obviously with Chelsea, we play so many games every season. We do, and we will continue to do so. So there will always be a chance for a second choice left wing back to come in and really impose himself on that position. That's just always going to be an opportunity. So if one drops back, he can get back up. It's just the way it is. So if we can bring someone in, maybe in January, that can push Ben and also rest Ben sometimes, that would probably be a really good thing, I think. Especially if we're going to continue playing this 3-4-3, where the wing-backs are so important, and you really need them to be firing and playing at a high level. They're really important figures in Thomas Tuchel's team. It's not like Conte's, where it's Victor Moses just camping out waiting for the ball. They do so much, and they invert quite a lot in Thomas Tuchel's system. So, what are the options? Well, an option that I've been talking about on different media platforms for a while, a player that I really like, is of course Luca Digne of Everton. He's 28 years old. I'm going to quickly look at his transfer mark now to reel off these stats to you in terms of, his data. So he's 28 years old. He's in his prime. He's France international. I think he starts for France. So, he starts for the world champions. Left-footed, of course. His contract expires in 2025 at Everton, but we'll get to that in just a moment. And as a left-back, you can bet your bottom dollar he'll feel comfortable at playing left wing-back. Now, of course, he's got a long time left on his deal, but he's been completely pushed out by current Everton manager Rafa Benitez. Something's clearly gone on in the background that we don't know about, or certainly I don't know about, that I haven't read about in the media. And Everton, this is coming from Fabrizio Romano, exclusive, Ukraine left-back Vitaly Mykolenko, if I pronounce that right, is currently undergoing his medical at Everton. Was currently undergoing his medical as a new Everton player. Here we go. The final price is around 21 to 23 million euro. Personal terms are agreed. Everton have signed a Luca Digne replacement. Remember, Luca Digne himself starts for France, really high profile. There was a time in the Premier League, even when Chilwell was at Leicester when he was playing quite well, you'd say the best best left backs in the league were Andy Robertson at Liverpool, Ben Chilwell, and Luca Digne. They were, or Digne, however you pronounce it. I have a feeling it's Dean, but whatever. They were the three best, man. He's that good when he's firing. And like I said, you don't start for the world champions if you're not really, really good. In his prime as well. And personally, I think if they really do want to get rid of him, lose his wages and make a bit of money on him because they're just not going to use him. And this is why I think clubs need to move fast, because Rafa Benitez might not last at Everton. And if Rafa goes, the new gaffer might come in and be like, yeah, of course I'm going to use this left back. He's amazing. Do you know what I mean? So maybe January is an opportunity to knock on Everton's door and say, hello, we've come for the French left back. You're not going to play him. He wants to play for us. You'd imagine he'd want to play for Chelsea, considering everything. We're going to give you £20 million, which they would have never have accepted before, under the previous manager. It'd probably be £50-60 million player. And if you say 20 million, Luca Digne would probably be like, yeah, take it. I'll play for them. I'm not going to play for another club maybe that you'll accept an offer. This is completely theorising and speculative here, of course. But should Chelsea go knocking, I think they could convince the player himself to come. And I think, of course, he would be an excellent option for Chelsea. I'm not saying he'd start over Ben Chilwell. I love Ben Chilwell, but he will push him, and they will both. He's 4 years younger than Marcus Alonso, so he's 4 years younger. He's in his prime. And he's just excellent. I want to reference this article, staying on left backs for a moment, from teamtalk.com about Chelsea. So the headline here is Tuchel request approved as Abramovich prepares Chelsea offer for 40 million euros plus star signing. It's the Milan left back Theo Hernandez, who's obviously very good. And it's coming from El Nacional, so it's more Spanish reporting. This article does also reference Luca Digne to Chelsea. Although El Nacional claims that Hernandez is also on Chelsea's radar, Tuchel has drawn up a list of targets, and Hernandez is reportedly the, quote, most convincing player for the manager. So maybe he looks at him in terms of his player profile. If we are to, by the way, believe this article, take this with a pinch of salt, as always when you read stories in the media, Theo Hernandez is the most convincing player for the manager. As such, he has had a request approved by Roman Abramovich to make a move for the 24-year-old, with the Russian owner preparing a bid. So, of course, 24-year-old makes him 4 years younger than Luca Digne, closer to the age of Ben Chilwell, so you think they could sort of push each other for a while, should we again believe this story. So I'm going to talk about another position in just a moment, but on the left back, I just want to finish and say, what do you think, right? We've got Ben Chilwell, and we've got the likes of Ian Maatson away on loan. For me, I'm very thankful for Marcus Alonso's service. He's in his 30s now. He looks like he's slowing down. Not that he had any pace to lose in the first place. And for me, in terms of how we're playing lately, certainly how we've played this season and developed into this sort of inverted wing-back system that was really, really profitable early doors, doesn't look like Marcus Alonso is going to be the level for me personally. This is not slating the player, this is just my opinion, so I'm really keen to get yours. Is January the time to bring in a left back that can contend with Ben Chilwell? Because I think of Hudson-Odoi played better right wing back than left wing back, which is peculiar because he's a left winger ultimately. Don't ask me how that works, I don't know. So let me know what you think about the left back situation, left wing back. Do you think we should look at the likes of Luca Digne or Theo Hernandez? And if so, who's your pick? 24-year-old Theo Hernandez, very good. Or Luca Digne, who's been a proven, I know it's boring, but Premier League proven player. Remember, Chilwell's Premier League proven. We got him, and it worked. So there's something to be said about that, and perhaps Luca Digne being a few years older than Ben works better in terms of being rotated in and out rather than two 24-year-olds gunning for it. Let me know what you think. Of course, this is just a story. We're reflecting on it, so comment down below. I do want to spend some time before the end of the video and talk about Jules Kounde, because I think this is an inevitable transfer for Chelsea Football Club. Not only were personal terms widely reported to be agreed, the player himself has of course referenced his, quote, failed move to Chelsea that he wanted, that he also referenced affected him negatively, not getting that transfer to Chelsea, which he thought he was getting. Of course, since there's been social media stuff, him and Trevor Chalobah putting emojis to each other, I think there's an inevitable transfer there. He's clearly a transfer target of the Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel, and the player himself's agreed to come. It was Sevilla that were moving the goalposts, trying to squeeze a little bit more out of Chelsea, I think, personally, when they saw we sold Kurt Zouma, so they thought we were in a more vulnerable position. Perhaps, this is again my speculation, perhaps a position they could take advantage of. Fortunately for Chelsea, they stood strong and Trevor Chalobah emerged from nowhere, and he's offered that support. Of course, Chelsea are without four defenders are out of contract, in Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, Andreas Christensen and Rudiger, all that play in the centre-back positions. So even if you tie two of them down, you can bet your bottom dollar we are signing Jules Kounde. Now, whether that is in the January transfer window or whether that's next summer, it's probably more likely to happen next summer, where his price will have to go down after another full season. I can't estimate, and he could replace an outgoing Rudiger, probably more likely an outgoing Azpilicueta in terms of an actual replacement to play on that side. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think it's pretty interesting. I think he's inevitable, Jules Kounde. Do you think we should get a left wing back though? I think people are talking about midfielders, but because we've got Billy Gilmour and Gallagher on loan doing well, especially in the case of Conor Gallagher, but I think Billy Gilmour would profit from playing a full season at Norwich, even if it's in a relegation season. Do you know what I mean? So I think with those players waiting the wings, at the moment we won't get a central midfielder unless it can be, top tier like a Tchouaméni or a Declan Rice next summer. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Thank you for joining me here today on Chelsea News. Of course, the series is every single day, so make sure you're subscribed. And if you are subscribed, all notifications must be switched on once pressing the bell. Thanks, fellas. Enjoy the football. I'll see you later.